Now for Education Matters, a weekly look at the real people and real stories in education across North Carolina.
Welcome to Education Matters, presented by the Public School Forum of North Carolina. I'm your host, Keith Poston. This week we have two segments focused on the issue of race. One is about an exciting new exhibition opening this week at the North Carolina Museum of Natural Sciences in Raleigh called Race, Are We So Different? The second is a great story about a group of students who are making an impact by spotlighting and seeking to honor a local pioneer in desegregation in our state. Before we tackle our main topic, we open with our segment we call Edlines, a quick scan of education headlines across North Carolina and the U.S. Members of the North Carolina General Assembly went on spring break last week without taking action on the K-3 class size cap that is keeping thousands of art, PE, music, and foreign language teachers on edge. Superintendents continue to warn members of the North Carolina Senate that if they do not act on HB 13 that passed the House 114-0 in February, they will be forced to eliminate thousands of jobs to comply with the lower class sizes. A new report out this week from the North Carolina Justice Center says this will cost North Carolina school districts as much as $388 million more per year in operating costs, as well as significant capital costs that the report calls an unfunded mandate. Senate leaders maintain the class size reductions are funded. In court filings last week, North Carolina Superintendent of Public Instruction Mark Johnson says the State Board of Education has severely limited his authority and has either ignored or denied his request to make staffing changes at the State Education Department. State Board Chair Bill Kobe said in an interview he is both baffled and shocked by Superintendent Johnson's statements. Johnson and Kobe, both Republicans, are the public faces in a power struggle that really began in the North Carolina General Assembly in December, when the legislature shifted much of the power from the state board to the newly elected state superintendent. The state board filed a lawsuit challenging the constitutionality of the new law, and the case is scheduled to be heard in June. Some state lawmakers want the state to explore splitting up some of North Carolina's largest school systems into smaller districts. House Bill 704, filed last week, would create a study committee, a preliminary step that can make it possible to break up large systems such as Wake County and Charlotte-Mecklenburg. The committee would also consider how to divide school districts and whether a local referendum or petition would be needed before a district could be split. We'll explore this issue further in a future show. Finally, before the General Assembly recessed last week, a flurry of bills were filed, including several education bills introduced by Senator Chad Barefoot, who was on the show last week. The bills all focus on teacher recruitment and retention strategies. They include an initiative to help teacher assistants pursue teaching licenses, allowing community college professors to teach core subject classes in K-12 schools, and additional funding for the North Carolina New Teacher Support Program. Remember, you can visit the Public School Forum's website at ncforum.org, click Education Matters, and read much more about each of these headlines as well as other topics we cover each week.